Let me ask you something. What if the way you think about wealth is all wrong? What if the real reason you're struggling isn't because you're not smart enough or talented enough or lucky enough, but because no one ever told you the secret? See, wealthy minds don't work like everybody else's. They see things differently. They move differently. They win differently. And once you understand their secret, everything changes. Most people spend their entire lives chasing money, chasing success, hoping one day they'll make it. But deep down, there's doubt. There's fear. There's that voice that says, what if I'm not good enough? What if I fail? I know that voice. I've heard it. But let me tell you something, success isn't about who's the smartest or the most talented. It's about who's willing to see the world in a way most people never will. See, wealthy minds don't run from failure. They don't crumble under setbacks. They don't let fear decide their future. They move with a different energy, a different confidence, because they understand something that most people don't. It's not about working harder. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about shifting how you think at the deepest level. But here's the problem: most people are stuck playing by the wrong rules. They were never taught how to think like the greats, how to move like the successful, how to break free from the invisible chains that keep them locked in mediocrity. And that's exactly why they stay stuck. They feel like they're doing everything right, but something just isn't clicking. I get it. I've been there. I've felt like a fraud. I've questioned whether I had what it takes. And for years, I thought success was about talent. But then I started studying the world's most successful people. I started learning the truth about mindset, entrepreneurship, personal growth. And what I discovered changed everything. Think about this. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to magnetically attract success? Not just in money, but in relationships, influence, and personal growth. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's a way of thinking, and more importantly, a way of feeling and acting. The wealthy mind doesn't just make decisions, it senses opportunities that most people don't even see. It feels challenges as invitations instead of threats. It sees obstacles as lessons, as redirections, as stepping stones. And once you start thinking this way, your life starts to shift, sometimes faster than you could imagine. Now, here's a challenge for you. I want you to close your eyes for just 10 seconds and think about the last time fear stopped you from taking action. Really let it surface. Was it fear of failure? Fear of rejection? Fear of being judged? Hold that feeling for a moment. Let it remind you of what's at stake, because everything I'm about to share will connect back to that moment. And by the end, you'll see how to turn that fear into unstoppable power. And here's a little secret most motivational speakers won't tell you. The wealthy mind doesn't just act differently, it thinks differently, feels differently, and even reacts differently. There's a rhythm, a strategy, a pattern of thought that separates them from the average person. Let me illustrate this with a simple story. Imagine two men walking into a room filled with potential opportunities. One sees the room as it is empty, cold, overwhelming. The other sees the room as a canvas full of possibilities waiting for him to act. The difference between the two isn't luck or talent, it's mindset. The wealthy mind sees possibility first, limitation second. Now, I'm going to do something unusual. I'm going to ask you to take out a pen and paper or just note 3 things you want in life that feel almost impossible to achieve right now. Don't think about how you'll get them. Just write them down, because those 3 things are about to become the focus of everything we explore in this series. Stick with me, because by the time we finish, you won't just understand what wealthy minds do differently, you'll begin to feel it, think it, and act it yourself. And once that happens, there's no turning back. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to move through life effortlessly, attracting opportunities, recognition, and success, while others work tirelessly yet barely move forward? It's not luck. It's not just talent, and it's not always connections. It's mindset. It's the way they see the world, the way they respond to challenges, and the way they handle themselves when no one is watching. Here's a truth most people overlook. Wealthy minds are built, not born. And the first step starts with something deceptively simple: clarity of purpose. Ask yourself, what is your ultimate goal? Not what society tells you to want, not what your parents or friends insist is right, but what truly sets your soul on fire. The wealthy don't just dream, they define. They know exactly what they're working toward. And because of that clarity, distractions, doubts, and setbacks don't knock them off course, they fuel them. Let's make this real. Imagine two aspiring entrepreneurs. One has a vague goal: I want to be successful someday. The other writes down, I want to build a business that earns $100,000 a month within 5 years, while positively impacting thousands of lives. Notice the difference. One has clarity, the other drifts. The first sees obstacles as temporary, solvable problems. The second sees obstacles as signs of failure. That's the difference clarity makes. The second principle is emotional mastery. The wealthy understand their emotions. They don't suppress them, they channel them. Fear, doubt, frustration, these aren't weaknesses, they are fuel. A wealthy mind feels fear, but moves through it, feels doubt, but learns from it, feels frustration, but converts it into persistence. Here's a small exercise. Close your eyes and recall the last time you were paralyzed by fear. Really let it surface. Now imagine reframing it. What lesson is hiding there? What insight could turn this fear into a roadmap for action? Hold that fearing and notice how your mind can shift from victim to creator. Next, embracing chaos and uncertainty is crucial. Most people want neat, predictable lives. Wealthy minds thrive in chaos. They see patterns others miss. They anticipate shifts, pivot quickly, and exploit opportunities hidden within uncertainty. Think of it like surfing. Ordinary people fear the waves. Wealthy minds ride them. Another hidden principle: accountability. The wealthy never blame external factors for their failures. They ask, what can I control? What can I do differently? That shift in perspective transforms problems into opportunities and limitations into stepping stones. And let's talk about resilience. Resilience isn't just bouncing back, it's growing stronger because of what you encounter. Every setback, every criticism, every failure is a chance to build mental toughness. When life tests a wealthy mind, it doesn't break, they bend, adapt, and come back stronger than before. Finally, let's address selective relationships. Who you surround yourself with determines the energy, influence, and standards you absorb. Wealthy minds are careful. They invest in people who challenge, inspire, and elevate them. They distance themselves from negativity, envy, and mediocrity. Here's a practical reflection for you. Think about your 3 closest friends. Are they helping you grow or holding you back? Are they celebrating your potential or just your comfort zone? Awareness is the first step to transformation. And one more thing before we close this part: the wealthy know that knowledge alone is not enough. Action is where transformation occurs. Clarity without execution is wasted potential. Emotional mastery without application is frustration. Connection without boundaries is distraction. So today, I challenge you, write down 1 fear you will face this week, 1 relationship you will evaluate, and 1 action you will take toward your clarity of purpose. Because your wealthy mind isn't just about thinking, it's about doing, feeling, and becoming. Stick with me, because in the next part, we're going to uncover practical strategies that turn these principles into unstoppable daily habits, and you'll begin to see how wealthy minds think, plan, and act in ways most people never even consider. Up until now, we've explored clarity, purpose, and emotional mastery, the foundation of the wealthy mind. Let's get practical. Thinking like a wealthy mind isn't just about lofty ideas, it's about consistent, deliberate action that compounds over time. The first strategy: invest in yourself relentlessly. Notice I didn't say save money or buy property yet. Before anything else, the wealthiest people invest in their own growth. They read books, study new skills, seek mentors, and continually challenge their minds. Every new idea, every new skill, every new perspective is a seed that grows into opportunity. Think about your mind like a garden. Every thought, habit, and skill is a seed. If you water fear, doubt, and procrastination, that's what will grow. If you water discipline, focus, and curiosity, the fruits you harvest can change your life. Most people spend decades watering the wrong seeds, then they wonder why their garden yields nothing extraordinary. Let's illustrate this with a real-world example. Imagine a young professional who dreams of launching an online business. Every day, she spends hours scrolling social media, avoiding her fears, and consuming entertainment that gives her nothing in return. Now imagine a different scenario. The same professional invests just 1 hour a day learning digital marketing, networking with experts, and building small projects. Within a year, she's far ahead of the average person, not because of luck, but because she invested in herself consistently. The second strategy: think long-term, not short-term. Most people chase instant gratification, quick wins, social validation, immediate money. But the wealthy understand that lasting success is a marathon, not a sprint. They plant seeds, nurture them, and remain patient even when the results aren't immediate. Imagine planting an orchard. You don't expect fruit tomorrow. You water, prune, and protect it. The wealthy mind understands that setbacks are temporary, learning is ongoing, and patience is a superpower. While others give up after a few failures, the wealthy persist, and eventually they harvest exponential rewards. The third strategy: selective associations. Who you surround yourself with determines your energy, influence, and standards. Wealthy minds are selective. They choose people who challenge, inspire, and elevate them. They minimize exposure to negativity, envy, and mediocrity. Think about it. If you're constantly around people who doubt your vision, criticize your effort, or celebrate comfort over growth, it's nearly impossible to reach your potential. But immerse yourself in individuals who dream big, act boldly, and consistently pursue excellence, and suddenly your mindset, habits, and results begin to shift naturally. Here's a fourth principle: embrace calculated risks. Wealthy minds don't act recklessly, they analyze, prepare, and take informed risks. Fear exists, but they understand that regret lasts longer than fear. Ask yourself, how many opportunities have you missed because you hesitated, worried about judgment, or feared failure? Every action avoided is a lesson left unlearned, a connection never made, a step you never took. Here's a small exercise. Identify one risk you've been avoiding this week. Now, break it down into the smallest actionable step you can take today. Even a tiny action moves you closer to the wealthy mindset. The fifth strategy: turn failures into fuel. Every setback, mistake, or criticism can be used as a launch pad if you know how to leverage it. Wealthy minds dissect failure. They ask, what went wrong? What can I do differently? How can I grow from this? Every experience becomes a teacher. Every loss becomes an opportunity to sharpen strategy, strengthen character, and increase resilience. Let me give you a real person style comparison considered to aspiring entrepreneurs. Both failed their first business. One gave up thinking, I'm not cut out for this. The other studied what went wrong, pivoted, and launched again within 2 years, building a thriving enterprise. The difference? Not talent, not luck, mindset and action. Finally, the sixth strategy, daily rituals that reinforce growth. Wealthy minds are disciplined about small, consistent habits. Morning routines, focused work sessions, reflection time, exercise, journaling, and learning. They understand that success isn't a single moment. It's the accumulation of small, intelligent actions repeated consistently. Here's your challenge. Pick one ritual you can implement starting today. It could be as simple as 15 minutes of focused learning, journaling your goals, or writing down your top 3 priorities each morning. The key is consistency. Wealthy minds know that small habits compound into extraordinary outcomes. By now, you should see the pattern: clarity, emotional mastery, investment in self, patience, selective associations, calculated risks, learning from failure, and daily rituals. Each strategy builds on the other. Taken together, they form the backbone of the wealthy mindset. Stick with me because in the next part, we'll uncover the hidden habits of the wealthy that most people ignore entirely. And some of these habits may surprise you, yet they hold the power to transform your results faster than you ever imagined. By now, you understand that clarity, emotional mastery, self-investment, and calculated risks form the foundation of the wealthy mind. But there's a layer that most people completely miss: the hidden habits that quietly, relentlessly separate the wealthy from everyone else. These habits aren't flashy, they aren't talked about at dinner parties or in motivational quotes, but they are the invisible engine of success. The first hidden habit is strategic reflection. Most people go through life on autopilot, reacting to whatever happens day by day. The wealthy, however, deliberately pause to reflect on their actions, decisions, and results. They ask, what worked? What didn't? What lessons can I carry forward? This habit turns experience into wisdom, and wisdom into better decisions. Here's an exercise that you can do today. Write down 3 actions you took this week. For each one, ask yourself, did it move me closer to my ultimate goal? If yes, how can I amplify it? If no, what can I adjust? This simple reflection builds clarity and accelerates growth in ways most people never experience. The second habit is intentional time management. Wealthy minds treat time like currency because it is. They prioritize high-value activities, eliminate low-value distractions, and ruthlessly protect their schedules. This is why two people with the same number of hours can achieve vastly different results. Consider this comparison. One person spends hours on social media, scrolling endlessly, while another spends the same hours learning, building skills, and connecting with mentors. The outcomes are predictable. The second person advances while the first stagnates. This isn't luck, it's habit. The third habit, consistent learning and curiosity. Even when they've reached a level of mastery, the wealthy never stop learning. They read voraciously, seek mentors, explore new ideas, and challenge their assumptions. Curiosity fuels innovation and keeps their mind sharp. They understand that the world changes, and stagnation is the enemy of progress. A practical exercise: pick one area of life where you feel stuck or uninspired. Commit to spending 30 minutes a day exploring it, deeply reading, watching tutorials, or experimenting. Curiosity isn't a hobby for the wealthy, it's a lifestyle. The fourth hidden habit is resilience in the face of discomfort. Wealthy minds don't avoid challenges or difficult conversations. They lean into discomfort, knowing it's where growth occurs. The average person avoids pain, embarrassment, or hard decisions, staying comfortable at the cost of potential. Think about it. How often have you avoided saying no, taking a risk, or confronting a truth because it was uncomfortable? Each avoidance is a missed opportunity to strengthen character and advance toward your vision. The wealthy embrace discomfort as a signal that they are growing. The fifth habit is emotional neutrality in decision-making. Wealthy minds understand that impulsive reactions, overreactions, or emotionally driven choices are costly. They pause, evaluate, and decide strategically, even in high-stakes situations. They master the ability to separate emotion from decision while still honoring their instincts. Here's a reflection. Recall a recent decision where emotion drove your choice. What would happen if you had paused, analyzed, and acted strategically instead? Imagine the doors that could have opened. Training yourself to act from clarity rather than reaction changes everything. The sixth hidden habit, celebrating progress, not just results. Most people only recognize success when the goal is fully achieved. Wealthy minds celebrate small wins. They understand that momentum builds through acknowledgement of effort, growth, and incremental achievements. This habitry enforces motivation, confidence, and resilience. Here's a simple exercise. Each evening, write down 3 small accomplishments from your day. Celebrate them. Over time, you'll notice your confidence rising, your focus sharpening, and your sense of purpose deepening. Finally, the 7th hidden habit is guarding mental and physical energy. Wealthy minds are deliberate about what they consume: media, conversations, environments, and even thoughts. They know that energy is finite and that poor choices in consumption drain productivity, clarity, and creativity. They nourish themselves with ideas, connections, and experiences that elevate them. Think of it this way. Imagine your energy as a bank account. Every thought, interaction, and habit either deposits value or withdraws it. The wealthy spend consciously, protecting their balance to invest in opportunities that matter most. By now, you can see the pattern. These hidden habits: reflection, time mastery, curiosity, resilience, emotional neutrality, celebration of progress, and energy protection are the silent drivers of extraordinary success. They aren't flashy, but they're consistent daily and often invisible to the outside world. And here's the truth. If you start applying even a few of these habits consistently, you'll notice subtle shifts in how opportunities appear, how people respond to you, and how your own confidence and clarity grow. The transformation isn't overnight, but it is inevitable. Now we're going to tie everything together and introduce a simple daily framework that allows you to start acting like a wealthy mind every single day. And yes, leave your comments and DLBS below to learn, to go ether, and improve. By now, you've learned it about clarity, emotional mastery, self-investment, patience, selective associations, calculated risks, learning from failure, daily rituals, and the hidden habits that quietly drive the wealthy mind. But here's the crucial question: how do you put all of this into action every single day? Here's the truth: knowledge alone changes nothing. Action changes everything. The wealthy understand this, and they design daily frameworks that reinforce their mindset, habits, and decisions day after day, month after month. Let's break down a simple yet powerful framework you can implement starting today. Step 1, morning clarity ritual. Start your day with 10-15 minutes of reflection. Write down your top 3 priorities for the day. 1 fear you will face and how you will confront it. A reminder of your ultimate purpose or goal. This ritual primes your mind, aligns your actions with your vision, and sets an intentional tone for the day. Step 2, strategic learning block. Dedicate at least 30-60 minutes daily to learning. Read books, watch tutorials, listen to inspiring talks, or study trends in your field. Remember, every skill, insight, and piece of knowledge you acquire is a seed for opportunity. Think about it. While others scroll endlessly on social media, you're building your mental capital, the raw material of wealth and influence. Step 3, focused work sessions use the 90-20 principle, 90 minutes of deep, uninterrupted work followed by 20 minutes of rest. During these sessions, eliminate distractions. Your brain thrives in focus. Wealthy minds know that consistent, focused effort compounds faster than scattered business ends. Step 4, reflection and adaptation midday or evening. Pause to reflect. What went well? What didn't? What could you do differently tomorrow? This reflection reinforces learning, corrects course, and transforms ordinary experience into actionable wisdom. Step 5, network and nurture energy. Engage with people who inspire, challenge, and elevate you. Distance yourself from negativity, envy, and mediocrity. Energy is contagious, spend it wisely. Your network and the quality of people around you determine the speed of your growth. Step 6, celebrate progress before bed. Note 3 wins, however small. This builds momentum, confidence, and a sense of accomplishment. Remember, wealthy minds celebrate effort, learning, and growth, not just final results. Step 7, plan for the next day. End your day by writing tomorrow's top 3 priorities. This sets your subconscious to work overnight, preparing your mind for opportunities you might not even see yet. Here's the beauty of this framework. It's simple, consistent, and cumulative. Each day, you're reinforcing clarity, emotional mastery, strategic action, reflection, resilience, and focus. Over weeks, months, and years, this daily practice compounds into a mindset that attracts opportunity, wealth, and influence. And now, here's where I want you to engage. Leave your comments and like. Share the step you're going to implement first. Ask questions. Discuss the habits you want to adopt. By participating, you're reinforcing your own growth and inspiring others to take action. Think about this. Every wealthy mind you admire didn't just stumble into success. They designed their days with intention, reflected constantly, invested in themselves, embraced discomfort, learned relentlessly, and protected their energy. The framework I just shared is a blueprint for anyone willing to commit. Start small. Start today. The person you'll become in 30, 60, or 90 days depends entirely on the actions you take now. And remember, every step you take toward this framework is a step toward a life that most people only dream of. By now, you've built a foundation. You've learned clarity, emotional mastery, self-investment, selective relationships, calculated risks, hidden habits, and a daily framework to live like a wealthy mind. But here's the next truth. Even with all of this, you will face obstacles. And how you respond to them will determine whether you thrive or merely survive. The first mindset shift is viewing obstacles as opportunities. Most people see setbacks as roadblocks. The wealthy see them as invitations to grow. Imagine two people stuck in traffic. One complains, stresses, and wastes. The other uses it to reflect, listen to an audiobook, plan the day, or call a mentor. The same circumstance, two outcomes. Wealthy minds see possibility in every challenge. Exercise. Think of a recent obstacle. Write down 3 ways it could actually benefit you or teach you something. This isn't just mental gymnastics, it rewires your brain to seek opportunity, not victimhood. The second shift, embracing discomfort as a tool for growth. Growth rarely happens in comfort zones. Wealthy minds deliberately pursue challenging experiences, knowing they sharpen resilience, increase confidence, and open doors. Remember, discomfort is temporary, but regret lasts a lifetime. Example, imagine someone afraid to speak publicly. The first few times they step on stage, it's terrifying. But each experience strengthens confidence, hones communication skills, and creates opportunities. This is how wealthy minds convert fear into fuel. The third shift, control your narrative. Life will throw criticism, doubt, and judgment your way. How you internalize it matters. The wealthy decide their own story. They don't let other people's opinions dictate their self-worth or vision. Reflection exercise. Recall a time when someone doubted you or dismissed your ideas. How did it feel? Now reframe it. See it as a sign that you're moving forward, that you're breaking the mold, that others are uncomfortable with your growth. Your power lies in rewriting your narrative. The fourth shift, small, consistent action beats occasional intensity. Many people wait for motivation to strike or a perfect moment. The wealthy understand that consistency compounds. A 30-minute daily effort repeated relentlessly outperforms sporadic bursts of extreme work. Example, think of someone learning a skill 30 minutes a day versus a marathon weekend session. The daily effort builds habit, mastery, and momentum. A sporadic effort creates fatigue, frustration, and inconsistency. Momentum, not intensity, creates results. The fifth shift, focus on what you can control. Wealthy minds don't waste energy on circumstances they cannot change. They ask, what is my influence here? What action can I take today that moves me forward? Shifting focus to controllable factors reduces stress, clarifies priorities, and enhances decision-making. Exercise. Make a list of current worries. Identify which are outside your control. Release them mentally and focus only on actionable steps. You'll be surprised at how much mental space this frees for growth. The sixth shift, protect your energy relentlessly. Every thought, conversation, and environment either fuels or drains you. Wealthy minds consciously curate their inputs. Negative media, energy-draining people, or unproductive habits are minimized or removed. Positive, growth-oriented influence is amplified. Example, instead of endless news scrolling, a wealthy mind reads a motivational book. Instead of gossip, they discuss ideas with mentors. Instead of toxic debates, they seek solutions and constructive action. Energy management is an invisible, daily lever for success. Finally, the seventh shift, embrace long-term vision over short-term validation. It's tempting to chase likes, approval, and immediate recognition. The wealthy understand that true influence, freedom, and wealth are built slowly, deliberately, and persistently. Short-term wins are fleeting, long-term results compound and last a lifetime. Here's an exercise. Visualize your life 5 years from now if you applied everything you've learned consistently. Feel it, see it, and let that vision fuel your actions today. The wealthy live in the future, not the reactionary present. By internalizing these mindset shifts, you'll transform obstacles into stepping stones, fear into fuel, and daily actions into compounded results. Each day becomes an opportunity to reinforce wealth thinking, not just for money, but for influence, confidence, and freedom. Up to this point, you've learned clarity, emotional mastery, hidden habits, daily frameworks, and essential mindset shifts. But even with all of this, there's one thing that separates wealthy minds from ordinary minds: the way they make decisions and leverage opportunities. Most people wait, they hesitate, they overanalyze. They ask, what if I fail? Or am I ready? And by the time they act, the moment has passed. Wealthy minds act decisively, strategically, and consistently. The first principle, decide quickly, adjust slowly. Wealthy minds make decisions fast. They gather sufficient information, trust their judgment, and act. They don't wait for perfect clarity because perfect clarity rarely exists. Once a decision is made, they adjust, refine, and pivot, but only after action, not before. Exercise. Identify one area in your life where indecision is holding you back. So, by decision today, even if it's imperfect, commit to adjusting as you go. Notice how momentum shifts the moment you decide. The second principle, opportunity recognition. Opportunities are everywhere, but they often go unnoticed because people are distracted, fearful, or reactive. Wealthy minds see patterns where others see chaos. They anticipate trends, identify needs, and act before the obvious becomes obvious. Example, consider two entrepreneurs at the same conference. One notices the market is shifting toward digital solutions and begins building a product. The other ignores the trend, assuming someone else will handle it. One creates wealth, the other misses the chance. The difference is perception and decisiveness. The third principle, prioritize high leverage actions. Wealthy minds focus on activities that produce disproportionate results. They ask, which 20 of my efforts will produce 80 of my outcomes? They ruthlessly eliminate low-value tasks, distractions, and obligations. Reflection exercise. List all tasks you plan to do this week. Identify the top 20 that truly moves you forward. Focus on those, delegate or eliminate the rest. The fourth principle, calculated experimentation. Wealthy minds treat life as a laboratory. They test ideas, measure results, and refine their strategies. Failure isn't avoided, it's analyzed. Each experiment provides data for smarter, faster growth. Exercise. Pick one idea you've hesitated to try. Treat it as an experiment. Take one measurable step this week, observe results, and iterate up. This habit turns hesitation into action and curiosity into progress. The fifth principle, anticipate consequences and plan contingencies. Wealthy minds think ahead. Every decision is considered in the context of short-term and long-term impact. They anticipate challenges, prepare responses, and mitigate risks before they arise. Example, an investor doesn't put money into a volatile market without a backup plan. A business owner doesn't launch a new product without testing assumptions. Planning for contingencies reduces risk, builds confidence, and ensures momentum continues even when obstacles appear. The sixth principle, trust intuition backed by knowledge. Wealthy minds often rely on intuition, but it's never blind. It's informed by study, experience, observation, and reflection. When instinct meets preparation, decisions become faster, more accurate, and more confident. Exercise. Think of a recent decision where you hesitated. What would your intuition have suggested if it were backed by prior research, reflection, and observation? Try applying that approach in your next decision. Finally, the seventh principle, commit fully once the decision is made. Half-hearted action yields half-hearted results. Wealthy minds don't dabble, they commit. They focus energy, time, and resources fully. Momentum builds when the mind, the body, and strategy are aligned toward a single goal. Reflection. Identify one area of your life where you've acted partially or hesitated. Make a plan today to commit fully. Watch how your confidence, clarity, and outcome shift. By mastering decision-making and opportunity leverage, you transform potential into tangible results. Clarity becomes action, learning becomes growth, and vision becomes reality. Now we'll explore how to cultivate resilience, maintain momentum, and overcome inevitable challenges while staying aligned with a wealthy mindset. This part will start to bring everything together toward the full transformation. By now, you've learned clarity, emotional mastery, hidden habits, daily frameworks, mindset shifts, and decision-making principles. You've seen how wealthy minds think, act, and leverage opportunities. But here's the next truth. Knowledge and action are not enough if you can't sustain momentum and overcome inevitable challenges. Resilience is the invisible force that carries wealthy minds through adversity. It's not just about bouncing back, it's about bending, adapting, and coming back stronger. Life will test you always. Your relationships, finances, health, and personal goals will face pressure. What separates the wealthy is how they respond under pressure. The first key to resilience: reframe adversity as a teacher. Every setback contains a lesson. A failed project, a harsh critique, or an opportunity isn't a dead, and it's a roadmap for improvement. Wealthy minds analyze, adapt, and pivot. They ask, what can I learn? How can I improve? How can I turn this into advantage? Exercise, recall a recent failure. Write down 3 lessons it taught you. Then write 1 action you can take today to apply that lesson. By doing this consistently, failure transforms from fear into fuel. The second key: momentum compounds. Small, consistent actions create unstoppable force over time. Wealthy minds never underestimate incremental progress. They know that repeated, deliberate action builds confidence, skill, and visibility. Even on days when motivation is low, they rely on habit, systems, and consistency to keep moving forward. Example: imagine someone learning a new skill for 20 minutes a day. In 1 week, it seems insignificant. In 1 month, improvement is visible. In a year, mastery begins to emerge. Momentum is invisible day to day, but undeniable over time. The third key: mental toughness and emotional discipline. Challenges, criticism, and uncertainty will always appear. Wealthy minds don't panic, they manage their emotions, focus on solutions, and act strategically. Emotional discipline allows clarity in chaos. Mental toughness allows persistence when most people quit. Exercise. Identify a recurrent challenge that triggers strong emotions. Next time it arises, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Evaluate objectively. What can I control? What action will move me forward? This simple practice builds discipline over time. The fourth key: maintain alignment with purpose. Resilience is easier when your actions connect to your larger vision. Wealthy minds constantly remind themselves why they started, who they want to become, and what legacy they wish to leave. This alignment provides energy, motivation, and direction even when circumstances are harsh. Reflection: write down your ultimate purpose and review it every morning. Ask, does this action, decision, or challenge align with my vision? Alignment transforms obstacles from deterrents into catalysts. The fifth key: strategic rest and recovery. Sustaining momentum doesn't mean constant action without pause. Wealthy minds schedule rest, reflection, and renewal. Recovery isn't laziness, it's preparation. Mental and physical energy are finite. Protecting them ensures consistent high performance over the long term. Example: consider an athlete who trains intensely. Without recovery, they risk burnout or injury. Wealthy minds approach life the same way: intense focus balanced with intentional renewal. The sixth key: visualize success under pressure. Resilient minds practice visualization, not just imagining their goals, but imagining themselves overcoming obstacles to reach those goals. Mental rehearsal builds confidence, reduces fear, and primes action. Exercise. Take 5 minutes today. Close your eyes. Imagine facing a challenge you fear. See yourself responding calmly, decisively, and successfully. Feel the confidence, relief, and accomplishment Visualization strengthens resilience. Finally, the seventh key: maintain a growth-focused environment. Surround yourself with people, media, and experiences that reinforce progress, motivation, and ambition. Avoid energy-draining interactions. Curate your environment to accelerate your growth. By practicing these 7 keys consistently, you cultivate resilience, unstoppable momentum, and lasting transformation. Every challenge becomes an opportunity, every setback becomes a lesson, and every day becomes a building block for the life you desire. Up to this point, you've explored clarity, emotional mastery, hidden habits, daily frameworks, mindset shifts, decision-making strategies, and resilience. You've built a roadmap for thinking and acting like a wealthy mind. But the final step before full transformation is integration, turning these lessons into consistent, lifelong habits. The first integration step: habit stacking for compounding results. Wealthy minds don't just have isolated habits, they combine them into sequences that reinforce one another. For example, a morning reflection leads to priority setting, which leads to focused work, which leads to learning, which feeds reflection again. Each habit strengthens the next, creating a chain reaction of growth. Exercise. List your current daily habits. Identify where you can stack new actions to create momentum. For instance, after morning reflection, immediately review your top 3 priorities and let them float in your mind. Stack action onto thought. The second step: review and refine weekly. Consistency is important, but so is evaluation. Wealthy minds review weekly progress, reflecting on wins, challenges, and lessons. They adjust strategies, eliminate wasted effort, and double down on what works. Practical exercise. Set aside 30 minutes each Sunday. Ask yourself, what went well this week? What didn't? What will I improve next week? This practice keeps your habits aligned with your evolving goals. The third step: create a personal accountability system. Even the wealthiest minds rely on accountability. Whether it's a mentor, a peer group, or a personal journal, external accountability ensures consistency and discipline. It's a subtle, powerful force that turns intention into action. Exercise. Identify one person or tool to hold you accountable this month. Share your goals, track progress, and reflect regularly. Accountability multiplies results. The fourth step: prioritize continuous learning and adaptation. The wealthy never stop learning because the world never stops changing. Each skill, insight, and habit requires refinement. Embrace curiosity and experimentation as lifelong principles. Example: consider someone in technology. The moment they stop learning, their skills become outdated. The wealthy anticipate change, adapt, and grow. Life rewards continuous learners. The fifth step: embed resilience and emotional discipline into habits. Integration is meaningless if you abandon it when life gets tough. Wealthy minds practice resilience daily, using reflection, visualization, and emotional discipline to navigate challenges. Every habit, action, and decision is reinforced by emotional strength. Exercise. Create a short daily ritual to reinforce resilience: 3 affirmations, a 5-minute visualization, or journaling your wins. Habitual reinforcement strengthens mind and character. The sixth step: align every action with purpose. Wealthy minds don't just act, they act with intention and alignment. Every choice is measured against long-term goals, values, and purpose. This ensures energy is spent efficiently and momentum is sustained. Reflection for each major task tomorrow: ask yourself, does this align with my ultimate vision? If yes, commit fully. If not, reconsider or delegate. The seventh step: celebrate milestones. to sustain motivation. Growth is a journey, and recognition matters. Wealthy minds celebrate progress, reinforcing confidence and inspiring continued action. Celebration isn't frivolous, it's strategic reinforcement of effort and consistency. Practical exercise. At the end of each month, list key accomplishments and reflect on lessons learned. Take a small, meaningful action to reward progress. This habit strengthens momentum and joy in the journey. Finally, the 8th step, commit to lifelong refinement. The wealthy mind ever claims finality. Every day is a chance to grow smarter, stronger, and more focused. By integrating these principles into habits, reflection, learning, and purpose, you create a self-sustaining system of growth and wealth mindset mastery. This is where transformation becomes inevitable. Each day, your thoughts, actions, and environment compound. Each decision, reflection, and habit builds toward extraordinary results. Wealthy minds are not born, they are intentionally crafted, nurtured, and refined every single day. Congratulations. You're journeying through clarity, emotional mastery, hidden habits, daily frameworks, mindset shifts, decision-making strategies, resilience, and long-term integration. By now, you should see that a wealthy mind is not about luck or talent. It is crafted intentionally through consistent thought, action, and reflection. Notice the common thread. Every principle, every habit, every mindset shift is about consistency, reflection, and intent to share. This is the DNA of a wealthy mind. It's not about occasional bursts of motivation. It's about daily, compounded, deliberate action. Now, here's a simple exercise to consolidate everything. Morning reflection, 5-10 minutes. Write down a day's top 3 priorities aligned with your ultimate purpose. Daily learning, 30-60 minutes. Choose one topic that expands your skill, mindset, or vision. Focused action, apply your top priorities in uninterrupted, high-leverage sessions. Evening reflection, 5 minutes. Review wins, lessons, and opportunities for improvement. Do this consistently for 30 days. You'll notice subtle yet powerful changes in how you think, act, and respond to challenges. Momentum builds, clarity sharpens, confidence grows. The final truth: wealthy minds are not born, they are intentionally made. Every habit you adopt, every reflection you practice, every action you take compounds over time. The ordinary waits for opportunity, the wealthy create it. The ordinary reacts to setbacks, the wealthy use them as fuel. The ordinary drifts through life, the wealthy design it. And here's an important note: your journey doesn't stop here. If you want to see how divine timing and faith can amplify your efforts and bring opportunities you didn't even imagine, I highly recommend watching the next video. When God is about to give you something big, you will see daily motivation. This video naturally continues the message we've explored here, blending mindset, purpose, and faith-driven momentum to propel you even further. We are Wisdom Recorder. Subscribe, hit the like button, and share it with someone who needs to hear it.